Hey, and welcome. Hey, and welcome, you guys. What's up? What's up? What's up? I hope my audio is right. Your girl will not be coming on camera this evening because I'm looking just a little bit crazy. So hopefully you guys don't mind. If you are here checking me out, I truly appreciate you. I know this one is kind of late with lifing. With that said, we're going to get right into the episode. But before we get started, please remember to like the video, share it with a friend, comment in the comment section, and please turn those notifications on. Thank you very much. So we're here for Summer House, Martha's Vineyard, Season 2, Episode 6, A Perfect Summer Storm. We are on day 9 of 15, and when we open the episode, we're with Summer on a phone call with her Nana. She says that she is the backbone of the family and adopted her when her mom could no longer take care of her. Her mom struggled with addiction, and she didn't have her father growing up. Summer, that is. So they give us a flashback to 2 days ago where she reveals that she thought her father was one person up until, I think she said a year or so ago. And she contacted him and he said, "There's no way." Yikes. Then her mom finally told her that there's another possibility and that she doesn't know his name because he was a one-night stand. Again, yikes. That's a lot to handle, and it gives you a little bit of insight into who Summer is as a person. I can't remember. You guys can get down in the comments and jog my memory if Summer says that she's had therapy, because it's clear that she could really use it. That's a lot for a person to carry on their shoulders. And as she kind of gets into talking about it, she doesn't like to share or be a burden to people, lean on people. Her Nana is fresh out of surgery. I forgot what they said it was for. And she's asking her, if she's enjoying herself. And Summer says yes, but it's a little tiring and that there are a lot of arguments. I said, Summer, girl, now that is on you, or at least a large part of them. She said that she shows up for people to a fault, but it is hard, but she has a hard time communicating when she's overwhelmed. And in her confessional, she says she doesn't feel safe to share with the group because she has abandonment issues. Again, I can't say it more. Therapy, therapy, and therapy. There's no shame in it. There's nothing wrong with it. I feel like it's just great in even maintaining your mental wellness. If you want to take a look at it like that. It's part of who you are. Your physical and your mental and your emotional are both extremely important. So as you guys know, it's couples weekend, and Donald, Preston's boo, Natalie, Amir's girlfriend, and Simon, well, we all know Simon, are going to be showing up. Preston is throwing a cocktail mixer to kick things off. And it will also serve as a precursor to Freaknik, which will be hosted later by Jordan. So Simon arrives in these flamingo pajamas, and it looks like next episode, them pajamas or those flamingos actually are going to get our guy Simon in a little bit of trouble. Now, even though your girl loves a good pair of pajamas, I too was like Nick, and I had questions. So, of course, these two are happy to see each other. And then again, Simon with the aesthetics. Why are you in the truth booth with your underwear on, sir? So Donald also arrives, and I must admit I was a little more excited to see Donald for obvious reasons, but also partly because Preston is my fave. Bria says that Phil is also on the island and wants to take this opportunity to ask Preston if it is okay for him to come to his event. But first, we find out that not only is Preston, well, recently engaged, but at the time of the filming, they were getting ready to move in together. So in his confessional, Preston is kind of telling us that they met online on some site that I never heard of that probably isn't for me anyway. These two have been together for 3 years and now they're moving in together, which scares Preston just a little bit. Sir, it should. It's a good thing, but also should be a little scary as new things are. But you gotta learn to find out each other's habits before you walk down that aisle or however you plan to do your wedding. Because, like I said, in present time, they're engaged. So Simon is actually the one that says that they were just having the Phil conversation and that he would like for him to join them, that he needs some laughter. But baby, the way he said laughter, it just was everything. They were like, excuse me, come again? What did you say? So Preston's like, well, I won't invite him, but he says to Bria that, she's welcome to. So he says he's kind of whatever at this point, and in his confessional, he says that, they're at a decent place. But he's slightly concerned that Phil loves the attention, and if he doesn't get it, well, you fill in those blanks. But he says he better stay in his place. So then they start asking if this is the first time that everyone's meeting Natalie because Amir is en route back to the house with her at that very moment. While simultaneously he's in the car giving her the rundown and says, Summer is very touchy. And she's like, yeah, I got that vibe when I met her a few months back. It was at a party. They showed us a picture. And she says she didn't like it. Now, meanwhile, Summer is telling the group that Natalie was a little standoffish when she met her. Amir assures her, it's just me and you. He has to do that a lot throughout this episode and perfectly to be perfectly honest throughout the season. And it's kind of, it's a little bit too much for me. So Summer's like, I understand that maybe there's an issue with Jordan because Amir liked her, but that doesn't really have anything to do with me. And Preston's like, you know, child pause. Preston says you also don't know if her reaction has anything to do with you at all either, which is a good point. Preston is always there to be level-headed with things. And then as everybody starts to get ready, Bria calls Phil on FaceTime to let him know that Preston says it's okay for him to attend the event. She's like, oh, you can tell Mariah that you're coming. And then Sir turns to his right and says, oh, by the way, Mariah is actually there in the car with them. So she waves Shanice to come in the room to see this baby child. A lot, okay? So I guess these two are possibly an item. Is that what they're alluding to? Get down in the comments and let me know if you agree, because I do remember he was giving her those vibes last summer. Baby, I said, not Summer in the bathroom with Jordan saying she's not looking forward to meeting Amir's girlfriend because she's tired of meeting new people. Baby, Summer is exhausted. Summer just needed a vacation solo since she can't seem to let her hair down and enjoy the company she's in. Maybe she needed a nice spa retreat, a little meditation, a little therapy. I'll say it for the umpteenth time. Just, a little vibe, a little meal, and a little solitude. But I digress. And then she says, especially because the first time she met Jordan, she wasn't so nice to her. Baby, I don't remember that much of season 1. If you guys do, get down in the comments and let me know. And as a side note, I'm also a little bit over Amir. I hope I'm not running these too close together. I don't want to make this video too long. And, I speak kind of quickly. So hopefully you guys, the pacing is okay for everybody. He says that his girlfriend is a bad chick. And while I don't like the word chick, I love that for him. He like it, I love it. I mean, she calls him and he comes running. But in his confessional, he says that Natalie knows every single woman in this house has expressed some kind of interest in him or didn't express interest in him. And though he did say the last part and we do get to see some flashbacks, I feel like he kind of needs to assure her that he's staying away from Jordan a lot, and I'm really not sure why. Like, did you verbally tell her all of these things, or did she just kind of see it from watching the show? A little confusion. Either way, if you're that insecure, you probably don't need to be in this relationship. Child, I already know how that goes. And your girl likes to, do things out of order sometimes. So we find out later that not only is Amir in real estate, but his girlfriend Natalie is also in real estate. This is at the cocktail hour that they're getting ready to head to. She makes mention that she sells homes over 2 mil while he does the ones under 1 million. I guess. Anywho, the gang is all dolled up and they arrive at the event space for Preston's cocktail hour. And Preston has some additional friends there as well as Jordan. So I guess maybe I know next season they're supposed to mix up the people, and they have kind of mixed it up a little bit between this season and last season. So I'm wondering if these are going to be potentially some of the people that we'll see for season 3. And please, you guys, watch the show. I've been hearing, me and Harold were talking about this on my Saturday Sip Live, that the numbers, he's tweeted about it, are quite low for Summer House Martha's Vineyard. And I would hate for this show to be canceled. I was really excited that they were giving them a reunion. Like, please don't ruin this, you guys. I keep, even if I give you guys late recaps, it's important to me to get the recap out, to also watch the show. I try to run it twice, even if I don't watch it twice. That's just a sidebar. Like I was saying, they have some additional friends. Bria, Simon, Amir, and Natalie, they arrive last together because they're in the same car. And I was kind of worried that the vibe was going to, shift when they arrive, but Jordan kept it very cute. That's not what they showed us on the preview, but she kept it really cute when they were finally introduced with their matching browns on, giving you those Kardashian vibes. Mariah and Phil arrived, and Jasmine is ecstatic. Bria is not. She says that they can coexist, but clearly she is bothered. Nick in his confessional says that he is worldwide, baby. Okay, Candy Burris, who also was on Watch What Happens Live. And he says he has only seen Phil once ever. Catch that shade, okay? So Phil is about to make his rounds apologizing, starting with Preston. Gives him a hug, he gives him a little dap. But more importantly, let's get into Miss Mariah. She makes her rounds and she gives Amir's girlfriend a hug. In the confessional, we find out that she texts Amir asking for a public apology. And he says for something that was an accident. So they give us a good flashback, how they like to do. But Amir, where's your accountability? Where's your accountability is my question. Your actions led to her being kicked out of the house by her best friend. He says he doesn't feel that he owes her an apology because everyone felt she should leave because she put her hands on Bria. Now, Amir, yes, but also, had you stepped in and said something, it may have never gotten to that. Not that we do need to be accountable for our actions. So Mariah gave her a shove. That was on Mariah. So now Mariah and Bria are going to have the conversation that needs to be had. It turns out that Mariah has reached out numerous times, Bria's words. Mariah says anytime she can squash something, she's up for it. She tells her that she did not know that it wasn't her that put the dog's items in with the people's items. And she says the only reason that she blew it up the way that she did is because she's allergic to dogs. She says, excuse me, she says she loves Milo, but it felt intentional. When she approached her, Bria didn't say she didn't do it. So, it kind of went to the left, as we remember. So now these two seem on par, that none of this had to happen and that Amir could have interjected and diffused the whole situation. Again, that's not to excuse Mariah from, being accountable for what she did in the situation. And I tend to agree. And I feel that way, not knowing that, initially she was allergic to dogs, which is kind of crazy. They both say they're over it, and Mariah's like, she just wants to enjoy. Child. In her confessional, Bria says she is a very forgiving person. Once she speaks with someone and has a conversation that is honest. Child. Now, Bria girl, hearing that she reached out to you more than once. How serious were you about resolving this issue? Now, it sounds to me like you just wanted to keep some mess going. You guys get down in the comments and let me know if you agree. So Phil pulls Nick and Amir to the side for some grown folks conversation. Jordan leaves, child, to set up for Freaknik before she could get pulled into the fold. Now, her confessional, she says immediately after they got home last summer, Phil was in her inbox asking, "You still mad?" And basically, long story short, she don't like him. He apologizes to Nick, Amir, and Alex, and the fellas are like, they feel like he came in hot. Phil is blaming it on that expensive tequila. Amir's like, "Listen, I don't do bullies." And Phil's kind of like he doesn't remember most of what happens, but the fellas are not here for him blaming on alcohol, baby, okay? So Amir says, he's just looking out for his brothers. He just wants Phil to keep it cool. Phil says, he appreciates them accepting the apology. I kind of feel like they kind of just were willing to let bygones be bygones. I don't think these guys are rocking with Phil at all, but at the same time, since he's not staying in the house, they're not here for the drama. Now, Nick in his confessional basically says that Phil had a year to prepare and did not complete the assignment. I tend to agree. His apology was a little lackluster. Him and Preston had a better conversation, and he could have prepared that apology a little bit more crisp and concisely. But I'm just glad that they can move past it because Lord knows your girl does not like to harp. So Preston gives a little toast, and they're about to get out of there and get ready to enjoy Freaknik. Now, baby, on the way back to the house in the back seat, Bria and Simon back there making out. I was like, ooh, yuck. And then when they get to the house, you know what time it is. Milo done tore some shit up and the kitchen is a mess. And I don't know why. If these grown people cannot clean up behind themselves, they don't just hire a cleaning service. So everybody, gets in a little get up for, they showing up and showing out, giving us those Freaknik vibes. The ladies are looking goods, okay? I said, what the heck does Simon have on? Simon is not known for the dressing, baby. And isn't Bria supposed to be some type of stylist, even though she don't quite hit it on the head either? So Alex got his fake tats on and he is A.T. Moneybags. I said, okay, I guess. Natalie up in the room saying she can't be a part of it. They're just downstairs being boisterous, having a good time. And I just wanted Natalie to go home. She's quite annoying. And she was getting mad with Amir because he was seeming like he wanted to go downstairs. Nobody wants to be upstairs with you being a stick in the mud, girl. So, Nick, he also comes and he got his fake tattoos on and he is Nikki V. And everybody thinks that Nick looks good. But before the wow rumpus begins, when they get outside, Geordie Jor has to give the people a Freaknik history lesson. After that, there's not much to say about it. Everybody has a good time. The ladies are loving Nick with the tats. Shanice says until he starts talking. I said, well, Nick go Nick. Just, taking a bunch of pictures, dancing, doing all the things. That is, except for Amir's girlfriend who looked uncomfortable and just, again, aggravated my nerves. So as we're winding things down, it's time to get in a hot tub because what else are we going to do on our summer vacation than get in a hot tub and shoot the shit? Now, Mama Jasmine is asking Amir and his girlfriend questions about, meeting and the dating and the moving in together of it all. And then Preston asks what's next for the two of them. So Natalie says, starting their careers together is a big move. He just joined her team and she's super excited to work with him. So Amir's like, the next best step is engagement. Nobody seems to be vibing off of that comment or that idea. And Shanice in her confessional says Amir loves love, but she says he needs to make sure that Natalie is right for him. And I agree. For me, she's a little too insecure to sustain this relationship. And I feel like he may get sick of it eventually. You guys get down in the comments and let me know if they're still together. I don't feel like going to look. So then Jordan wants to play Never Have I Ever. And I'm like, whenever they get to playing games, sometimes it doesn't go too well. So Amir and Natalie, they head inside. Again, Natalie, I feel like is still extremely insecure about our girl Jordan. Now, Donald is in there just sound asleep, and they're messing with this man. I said, if y'all don't leave Donald alone, outside, Noelle don't know how to play, never have I ever. So Summer is like yelling at her. That's not how it works. Summer, girl. So in the confessional, Summer says she thought Bria was saying something rude. Next thing we know, Summer is coming at Bria like she want to throw a drink on her or maybe throw those hands. I got a little worried. Somebody else said they were a little worried too. So shortly after, they're making up, and she says, "I would never throw a drink on you, baby." I was confusion. Okay. And I said maybe Bria was right, and it's indeed the alcohol. So Summer goes into the house. She's, interrogating Alex, who was doing Lord knows what in the kitchen sink as one of Jordan's friends were standing there. So he says in his confessional that last year Summer came into the house curious and kind. And I said, thank you, Alex, because I don't remember Summer being like a bull in a china shop last season. So Shanice, Noelle, and Bria, they're all having a good time in the room when Summer comes in now. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, and Noelle decides she wants to discuss what happened just a while ago. I just knew that was a bad idea. Summer's blaming it on the alcohol. She also says, she's apologized 1,000 times. She thought it was over with. And while Summer and Bria are kind of having a conversation, Noelle and Shanice, they're kind of just playing around, and Summer gets upset. So Noelle's steady apologizing as Summer's going out the room. And Noelle thinks that Summer thought that she was making fun of her. So Summer is like, make your friends, live your life. She goes into the other room and she's talking to Bria. So now Noelle comes in again. She's just so concerned. Like, are we still good? Noelle, baby, you just got to let people rock. Because you chasing this girl around to make sure you're good. Like, are y'all that cool? Because you just was okay over Alex. So she explained that, I was laughing because I had the wig on, and Summer's like, I just feel like you guys have, your own friendship. So then Bria's like, you guys have your own friendship too. She's saying this to Summer, talking about Preston and Jordan. And Summer's like, I can assure you it's not that great. It's not that great. You hear it. So she starts crying. Noelle gives her a hug. And then in the confessional, Summer says that, Preston just lost his dad and then Jordan is dealing with, the stress of losing her hair. And she just feels like the friendship is becoming very heavy. Not Noelle. Summer, I feel like you're kind of the heavy friend. Like, yes, they're going through their things. You don't have no other friends to lean on. Again, therapy. It kind of rubs me the wrong way that you're blaming them for going through things when you're also going through things and you're not willing to share. Like who says that you won't share and they won't be open to being a shoulder to cry on? Child, I digress. So she says Noelle, Shanice, and Bria, they just have this lighthearted friendship and she's jealous and she wishes she could have that right now. And that's what it all boils down to. So from there, they go back into the room with Shanice, who's eating wings, while Summer, she's a little emotional. Summer's like, I apologize again. I thought it was over, and then you brought it up. And then Bria's like, she's just tired of being accused. And Summer's like, I have your back. And Bria's like, do you? Baby, watch you say that. So it kind of escalates. Summer gets upset and asks her, like, what can I do? What can I do? And then she ends up walking out the room. And as she walks out the room, she pushes Noelle and then she blames it on Bria, asking, are you happy, you dumb bee? I said, Summer, this is why they keep calling you unhinged, girl. From episode to episode to episode, you continuously unraveling. And it's just a bad look. Part of me, just my heart goes out to her and I just want to hug her because you're going through stuff. But when you start to like spaz out and take it out on people, it's kind of hard to, not that I'm rooting for you, but just to show you that support. So Bria is kind of at first laying there truly unbothered, and Noelle is chasing Summer downstairs. Summer is just basically charging through the house with Noelle trailing behind her, looking like, she want to fight. And then we get hit with what else? To be continued. ... to the ... Okay. Yeah. I hate to be repetitive and say the same thing over and over because, like I said, I encourage you guys to watch the show. I am enjoying the show. I Summer maybe don't need to come back next season, y'all. Um, that's about the best thing I can say because it's very hard to watch. And like I said, a little drama is necessary to, for the interest of the show. But you guys are just mostly supposed to be having a good time. I understand that people go through things. It is what it is. I just want more for the show and for this gang, but your girl is still watching. I hope to be back for episode 7, hopefully on Wednesday evening. Fingers crossed. Again, if you are watching this video, I truly appreciate you. Please don't be afraid to leave a comment down in the comment section. Share with your friends where you share your videos. Sharing is caring. Also help your girl get to 500 by June 1st. I truly not apologize. I truly appreciate you guys for checking out the video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.